Hi, so I got in trouble for posting Fright Night 1985, and I just want to say like a formal apology to absolutely nobody because I don't care. I don't make any money off this channel. I only do this because I think it's fun and I think it's funny, and I am my target audience, so why would I give a fuck about what? So hi, welcome to my channel. Number one, unsubscribe. Number two, if you're here, hi, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. It's 106 degrees today, and I don't, I can't be bothered. I don't care. Um, I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it until I'm no longer able to do so. So there's that. If you can hear the AC in the background, it's because the AC is on. And if you're wondering where I got this coyote hat, um, there's this one antique shop that I go to, and usually it's like filled with tons of like busted ass shit from Goodwill that people are reselling. So, that being said, um, I actually found this in a how do you say, like a nook where there's like a bunch of like African masks and shit like that. Like this dude obviously was like a world traveler and collected things, and I saw this amongst everything there, and I was like, I'm a coyote girly. I'm a coyote girly. I love a coyote. I love a coyote thing. I love a taxidermy piece. I love a pelt. I love, I hate vegan leather. I hate plastic. I mean, you're going to sit there on your hind mind, and this is going to piss off some people, and that's okay. Vegan leather is extremely unethical when actual true leather can be worn for years. Okay, I have a Victorian piece in my closet that still has horsehair on it from the 1800s, 200 years later. Later. 200 years later, what I'm trying to say is that vegan leather could never, and that's okay, but at the same time it's really not. Like, let's talk about landfills, like let's talk about buttered sausages, like let's talk about how when I get something from Demonia, which is like a highly respected brand within the gothic community, it falls apart in point 0.2, like 2.5 seconds, and more like 0.2 seconds, like nothing to Demonia, but y'all know what you're doing. Like, I had these boots and they're talking, and it's the false leather, the plastic is lifting and everything. And for one thing, I think animal cruelty is horrific and disgusting. I think this is going to be a very divisive thing I'm saying. Why am I being this way? Am I being mean? Am I petty? Am I hungry? What's happening? Give me a moment. Please stand by. Brief intermission while I think to myself. Yeah, vegan leather is extremely unethical, and also the leather industry can be extremely unethical. That's why I think that you should talk to local hunters and trappers, as well as buy vintage, buy like from your Goodwill, buy like used. There we are. I'm sorry. I'm like having tongue ties and I'm getting confused by the things I'm saying because I just look like a fucking moron and I don't care. Say Levy, this is my life. I'm gonna look like a moron, and it's 106 degrees outside, and I really do not fucking care. And I couldn't care even if you paid me to care. And nobody's paying me to care. Like, this channel is not monetized, but I will let you know that YouTube snuck in an ad on one of my videos. So if you're seeing ads on my videos, please let me know so I can send a very formal complaint to YouTube. A very formal complaint as a screenshot of me doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And and then I'm also going to print that out and mail it directly to their like headquarters. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? This is a joke for the AI. that like watches my videos and sometimes tells me I'm not allowed to upload things because it doesn't understand humor. Can we start feeding like entire bodies of comedians into the like what is it? Is it like a mangler? I imagine like there's some scanner for it, like for the systems to devour this information. Whatever. It's like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and there's the ticket muncher and it goes whenever you feed it the tickets. You know what I'm talking about? You go to Chuck E. Cheese, you get all your tickets. Not anymore. Now it's all cards and it's all online and data. It's like you what the fuck? What the fuck? Bring back the ticket munching machine. They're like, oh well that actually takes paper and that's bad. You guys do you'll say anything, you'll have any argument just to take away my fun. Like bring back the ticket munching machine at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. I want to hear a robot get freaky with it. Like, okay, what the fuck? It's actually there's some guy in the ticket munching machine, and he's actually making those sounds because he's actually eating the paper. It's like that weird kid at school that ate glue. I'm just kidding. It's me. I'm just kidding. I didn't eat glue. That's nasty. But I did put it all over my hands and rip it off like I was some kind of reptile. I was like, ooh, look at me, the snake. Cried today. I cried today. You're like, oh, you cried today. Why did you cry today? Um, Hi, tarantulas have a extremely long heart on their abdomen, on their butt. You know, like how tarantulas have like a big butt? Okay, they have a big backside, much like me. Okay. Their heart is on top. You can listen to a tarantula heartbeat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I have the molt. I used to have a tarantula and I have a molt from my tarantula. Unfortunately, it died because it wasn't able to break its molt. I don't have the one with the carcass in it, but like I have one of her old molts and I keep it with me. I cried today because tarantulas have a heartbeat. They have an extremely long heart and it's all on their backside. It really upset me. It really, really upset me. I started crying. I started profusely crying. Like, I couldn't handle that shit. I am slowly becoming a spider queen. Like, I have tons of spiders in my house and they're very beneficial. Like, we live in the South, there's gnats, there's mosquitoes, okay? But we have lots of daddy long legs. And then we have like these jumping spiders that live in the window and it's a completely consensual relationship between moi and the spiders, okay? And then I realized that I drew this and then my husband tattooed it on me, right? And all of these things are like coming into my awareness. Like my glasses have little spider webs on them. I don't know if you could see them. Okay. I'm very into spider like things. Okay. I love crocheting and I love astrology. One could argue that's like the big web that is the big loom in the sky or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just a cunty little web, whatever. It's a cunty little web in the sky. Okay. The stars dancing around and us whatever. It's like looming us into space or descending into matter on the loom in the sky. I don't know. It's very nice. Very poetic, very nice, whatever. But whenever I found out that tarantulas have hearts in their bottoms and their little butts, I just had a full on fucking like minty bee. I had a full on fucking mental breakdown. And here's the thing. I want to cry. I want to cry because I want to cry for scorpions. Can I have a moment? Can I have a moment to cry for scorpions and tarantulas? Can I have a moment to cry for the things that have to go through this process of molting? Not crabs, like girl, shut up. Nothing wet, not no wet bugs. Okay, no, we're not doing that today. We're gonna cry for the land critters. Okay, we'll cry for the wet bug. Like there's enough crying over the wet bugs, right? No, um, so listen. Can we cry for the scorpions and the tarantulas today? Can I get a type one in the comment section, please, if you made it to this far in the video. One in the comment section for a scorpion, two for a tarantula. You know, like what the fuck? This is so sad. And here's the thing. I'm an astrologer. You guys know this. I don't know how to create content correctly. You guys also know this. I'm very sporadic, erratic, strange. That's okay. This is just my life. I'm living it as best as I can with what I have in front of me. Um, I have a lot of activity in my eighth house, in my 12th house, and the spooky dooky houses in astrology. Um, that being said, I also have like a prominent Scorpio placement. And the type of natural plutonian transformation that it takes for scorpions and tarantulas to molt, I'm very upset. I am very upset. Also, I'm like horrified because I heard something about why am I talking about this? Well, I don't know, but it is 106 degrees outside, so let's just fuck it, we ball. I don't know. Like, okay. So the amount of plutonian transformation that has to happen for a molt to successfully, take place, that's amazing to me. That's beautiful. That's so interesting. Also, I found out like there's this type of like Kevlar-esque bulletproof yarn that they have made from. I also watch Bunnicula. Okay, I watch Bunnicula. There's an episode called The Spider Lamb. Well, scientists have crossed the genetics of a spider and a lamb in order to make this like bulletproof type of wool from the mixing of these genetics. And then I think back to myself about the stories about how the Atlanteans, like Atlantis fell because of genetic modifications, were like getting out of control. There was all of these things. But I think it's very interesting that humans are like, yeah, let's cross a spider and a fucking sheep. And they did. And then they had like this bulletproof type of wool that was created through that genetic modification. I thought that was very interesting. But that's also an episode of Bunnicula. And so we go into these spaces that are seeming like abstract and not very real or tangible. And then they are. And then it's not so far fetched that Bunnicula, a vampiric rabbit who lives in New Orleans, um, interacts with this spider lamb because there are spider lambs out there, and they're using its wool to make bulletproof vests and materials. So that's interesting. Um, Always go and fact check me if you want. Like I think it's always so fun for people to be like, "This bitch is crazy," and then they look up what I said and like, "Okay, this bitch is on to something," and she's not on something. I thought it was weird learning about that. I didn't know. And then I also found out that there's genetic modification done from like this type of cold water trout. I believe it's a trout. It's some kind of hardy cold water fish. They use it, and a lot of our tomatoes are not heirloom tomatoes anymore. They're genetically modified uh, things, strains of existing tomatoes, and they genetically modified and injected this cold water hardy fish's DNA into the tomatoes so that way they could withstand different types of, how do you say, like weather and external elements better. So a lot of the non-heirloom tomatoes that you purchase the seeds on the or devour, they are actually, so it's kind of funny when you think about being a vegan or something and then you realize that the tomatoes have fish genetics. And so if we get into these like cross quarter pieces of thought, which is how far are you willing to go for morals and values whenever the tomatoes contain the fish DNA, and then how much of that is ethical and how much of it isn't. So I think it's very interesting. It's, to me, it's very interesting. I don't know if you guys think it's interesting. I think it is. But yeah. So where did I get this hat from? An antique mall, secondhand. How do I feel about vegan leather? It's weird. It's bullshit. It's just plastic, guys. Come on, get over yourself. Get off your high horse. It's fine. Um, I had to harvest one of my rabbits recently, and that really broke my heart. Um, the Texas heat is unbearable. It's disgusting and it's unethical. And I'm getting into these thoughts where I think it's extremely unethical for people to have homesteads or large amounts of cattle in the Texas fields because if they do not have enough shade, they are susceptible. These large mammals are susceptible to these extraordinarily unbearable temperatures. Editing Emily here. I do not think that people should have their homesteads taken from them or that there should be some kind of policing about animals that you are not allowed to have on your ranch in Texas. What I am saying is that I personally am finding it to be extremely unethical to have these fuzzy mammals out in 106 degrees weather with no type of shade or ventilation or help. And unless you have something like a Spanish goat, which is a type of, why am I telling you this? I don't know, but hi, welcome to my channel. there's a Spanish goat that's very hardy, and it's a really good bloodline of a goat, and they can withstand different types of terrain. They eat cactus, like they live off of basically nothing, and they could stand the heat kind of shit. Um, so there's bloodlines that are specifically hardy for this type of whatever, but you would never have a Highland cow, a cow, or is they call them coos, or is that the dog? Coohoolan? I don't know. I don't want to get into fucking. I don't want to get into language. Okay, linguistics. Is that what that is? I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but you would never have like a very fuzzy cow here because that is unethical. It's fucked. So it's just it for I'm so sorry. So I have animals as well, and what I'm getting into is that one of my rabbits, and this is a completely normal thing that happens in South Texas. We have spoken to tons of farmers. Summer months are very difficult for rabbits. A lot of the time you will lose your entire litter of rabbits. One of my rabbits did succumb to heat stress and died, and I had to harvest them. And that was an entire learning process because I had not gotten to that stage in my homestead knowledge yet, actually processing a mammal. And so that was like a whole thing. And it took 2 hours. And I almost had like, I was dehydrated. It was 102 degrees that day. I had to do it outside, obviously, and away from the family. And it was like a very solitary thing. Me and this rabbit that I had raised and me midwifing it into the transition for the next life and into the next stage of its being, which is, do you know, the things like so the inners they go into the garden, and then the garden grows very well from the organic matter, and then that supplements other parts of the homestead. We have like a very nice cyclical thing here at our homestead, right? But I had to learn how to dispatch and properly help the transition from the rabbit from a pet into not. Okay, and that was extremely difficult. That was a very it's an initiation. It really is. You have to be initiated into that kind of information, and it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. I don't enjoy that, and that was extremely difficult for me. But I did it. At the end of the day, I did it, and now I have that knowledge, and I'm able to go forth and I have that within me now. You know what I mean? And honestly, my ancestors probably had it too. So it's nothing new for my genetics to understand what that is. Um, I'm indigenous as well as like Scottish and all these other things, right? So it's not unknown for me somewhere in my far back to have this type of information. But for me in this life, in this form, in this body, this is a completely new initiation into this type of information, right? It's the nicest way to put it, in the way that hopefully I won't get in trouble through the AI verification systems. But um, it was very hard to see that. So we elevated our enclosure area and for the rest of our litters of rabbits, and we were able to like have like a permanent outdoor fan for them and multiple things of water and everything, because from one failure on the homestead you gain so much information from your failures, which is very important because this is something that I really need you to understand, and myself I need to understand as well. Every rejection, every seeming failure, every time you feel like low down dark deep because of some external thing happening, it's actually a beautiful initiation into you being able to consciously gain a lot of esoteric hermetic wisdom through looking at this uncomfortable rejection or looking at this uncomfortable failure on the homestead or something like that as like, oh, I could not keep them alive. What did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? And how can I fix it? I immediately pivot from the fuck to the all right, let's do this, because there is no time. There's no time for you to sit there and feel bad. There's no time for you have to on your feet, let's go. Like we have to just keep going. And so that's really important. Resiliency is an extremely important aspect of your personality if you're going to have a homestead, but also for life. So now I'm one resilient bitch. All this being said, my husband was speaking to some of his coworkers, and it's very normal for people to have rabbits, homesteading animals, things of this nature down here. But this is the first year that it's been this hot before, and I fear it's only going to be getting hotter. Now, this could be just an abnormal year. Of course, it can. Am I a doctor? No. Am I a meteorologist? Also, no. But all of this being said, my husband ended up talking to some of the other people at his work who also have homesteads and breed rabbits. My husband ended up talking to some of the people that he worked with and who also breed rabbits or have dealt with this kind of heat. And all of them lost their entire litters. Are they called kits? I don't know. Not a doctor, okay? Not a doctor. Um, they lost their entire batch of rabbits to heat stress, which is it's so fucked up. And I've talked to my friends, and my friends no longer raise rabbits as well because of the same thing. Like the heat drives them insane, and they will break their own spines. It's very very dark. It's actually a very gruesome way to go, and it's just super unethical in my findings to actually raise outdoor mammals in this weather. I think that's what I'm trying to get to is that through my own findings, through my own studies, and through my own personal initiation into homesteading by myself, I'm self taught. I gather the information I can, I learn from the people that I can, but I'm doing this in a unique area as a unique person, my way. It's not okay to raise rabbits or outdoor mammals, lots of fur, in this kind of heat. Unless you do like there's other things I could get into later, but all I'm trying to say is that my one failure where I lost one rabbit initiated me into an entire realm of something completely different in processing mammals. Okay. Number two, um, I was able to successfully help him transition and midwife him into the next phase of his existence. And that is a good thing. Number three, because of the one failure, I am able to now take care of the rest of them and be more attentive and understand where I failed and because of the way I'm wired and the way I fire, the way that I will never allow this thing to happen again because that's how seriously I take my failures. Um, I think success is a very double edged sword where you are successful and you're happy and you're this bliss and you're in this like, I did it, I'm good, I'm bad, you know what I mean? You're in this like obnoxious kind of light with yourself where you're just like, everything's like glitter and posies and like rosies and stuff like that. And everything's so great. But whenever you sit with yourself and you're like in those deep, dark, down places that should not exist, but yet you're in one. I find I think I find the clearest picture in the darkest mud of myself. That's truly what it is. I find the clearest, most accurate portrait of myself when I look into a pile of just filth that's still for a minute and I'm like, okay, there we go. That's what it is. I have to accept this. I have to get up. I have to go. I can't stop. I can't allow this to, you know, but yeah. So why am I telling you this? I don't know. I've had a lot of feelings lately. And I think that one of the things that kind of triggered me back into like a strange place was having to navigate the uncertainties of copyright claims, having to navigate that stuff. And then also, life for me personally comes extremely fast. And so I'm constantly having to juggle things that are coming at me and move them here, move them there. And I'm much like a jester where I have to like laugh things off and make jokes out of things and move forward because that's how fast the platforms around me revolve. I have to jump from one, do a thing, jump for the other, do a thing, and it's a sing, a dance, and act. And I have to keep going and keep going. And then the moments in between the betwixt and between twilight where I finally get these moments of like rest, they're extraordinarily important for me. But it's just super interesting. It's just super interesting. Life is in general, and the way I am navigating these waters is not a way that is the mainstream. The way people mostly take the path and navigate these waters is a very specific way. There's like a hierophant of things that you do. There's a hierarchical, structural hierarchy to the way that people are mass initiated into life and living and doing and being. And especially in the West, being a woman or being somebody with a uterus or being a mother or being a wife or being a daughter or being, bing, 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 bing. There is a hierarchy of how things are supposed to go. There is a script you're handed and you are supposed to follow and step in line and hit your mark and this and that and that. Then there's a way that I'm doing it. Okay. So do I feel at home with coyotes? Yes. Do I have coyote teeth? Yes. Am I this feral, strange creature that is trying to interact with society as well as like compose myself and stay individual? Yes. Um, is it everybody's cup of tea? No. Am I my own cup of tea some days? Fuck no. There's some days where I just want to rip my skin off, throw it on somebody, and attack them full force as a joke. Because it's all funny. It's just as a joke. But I can't do that. So is that my lunar Leo coming out? Perhaps. I don't know. It's none of my business. It's not my business. The back of my hair, not my business. The back of this coyote thing, none of my business. Um, but what is my business is how I react to things, how I navigate these very uncertain waters that are in front of me personally, and my responsibility and my ability to be accountable to the things that are happening within my life. I can't sit there and be accountable for the things that are happening in your life, bitch. That's you. That's you. Like one time this guy commented on my shit, like complete side rant. One time this guy commented on my shit and he's like, "Why are you on my shit?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He like commented on my video, "Why are you on my shit?" And I was like, "Baby girl, do you not know how algorithms work? This is not my fault. I'm there. Like it is my fault that I'm existing to some extent. I guess I could blame my parents, but that's another day. But I posted a video, so yeah. But like, it's your fault for your algorithm being the way it is. If I'm showing up in your algorithm, you're fucked, buddy. I'm sorry. First of all, number one, I'm sorry. Number two, I'm not. Number three, I lied. Okay. Number four, let's just move on from this moment. Um, but anyways, I'd like to share that because I think I've found a lot of success in my failures. But I will tell you one thing. Even though I have found like secrets to success within my failures, it doesn't make those failures any less potent or shocking or horrific because I will I will still have to go through these like very like volatile, strange, emotional conundrums within myself. These like very strange hurricanes of you know thoughts and feelings and this tug between needing validation and not needing it and realizing I never needed it and that I exist without it. So it's okay. Like fighting with your own personal I don't know, your own personal things and then what other people have given you and then what is yours and what isn't yours. And then I think through every failure and every act of rejection that I keep finding these gilded avenues of information where I can just go, actually, this is a yellow brick road. This is exactly where I needed to go. So through rejection, there is an initiation into a very specific kind of being. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I am grateful, but I'm also, there's other ways that I could have been doing all of these things. There's other ways that I could have approached these things. And yet I'm just doing it raw and real and true to who I am as a person. I'm not a character. This is just how I am from day to day. What you see is what you see is what you get. Unfortunately. Sorry. Um, is it beautiful? No. Is it feral, shape shifting? Yeah, because that's what I am. That's what I do. That's the nature of my being. I have to shift in order to accomplish things, and then I get them accomplished. And then I'm handed another pile of shit I have to sort through. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah. So, anyways, try not to doubt yourself as much as I have. I used to sit there and wrestle with myself. I used to wrestle with myself and doubt everything that I did. And I was just stuck in purgatory. And now I'm out of purgatory. Purgatory. Hello, Fuentes. I'm out of purgatory. I'm out of purgatory for some extent of time, and I am existing again, and it feels good. It feels like coming back from the underworld after being locked down there by your fucking sister. Like, who does that? Like, and walking back through all of the gates of the underworld and coming back to the world and being like, you know, um, and I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. And if you watch this video, girl, I am so sorry. I need to get the fuck out of here. Just like that one guy said, what are you fucking, why are you on my shit? Why are you on my shit, bro? Why am I on your shit? Why are you on my shit? Okay, goodbye.